What's up, YouTube? Zero here, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison video between the Optative and Luna's Howl. These are two energy hand cannons in Destiny 2. First, I'm going to talk about some of the stats on these guns, then I'm going to talk about the rolls, then I'll get into my opinions on which one I prefer where and why. So we got a lot to talk about. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first, I want to talk about the stats. Both these are energy hand cannons, so you can't equip both at the same time. You gotta choose, and you may be like, I want to infuse one into the other. Which one is better? Which one should I keep? So let's talk about that. Stat-wise, these two guns are actually different frame types. You have the Optative, which is a precision frame, which does the 180 rounds per minute, and you have Luna's Howl, which is at 150 rounds per minute. So they're doing two different things, and with that comes the stats. Luna's Howl is, because it's a slower firing gun, it's stronger impact, it has slightly better stability, it has better handling, slightly better reload, and it also has a bigger magazine size. Now, on the Optative, everything that I didn't mention, the Optative is better at, which, looking at those stats, it's rounds per minute. And that's about it from the base stats of these two guns. However, that's not the end of the story. There are hidden stats that I do enjoy talking about. The aim assistance, which is actually greater on Luna's Howl as well. And we can also talk a little bit about the recoil. Luna's Howl has a little bit more recoil. However, it does have Zen Moment, and we'll talk about that in a second. So just looking at it stats wise, if you are just going off of the base statistics of these guns, then Luna's Howl is probably a no-brainer for you. However, that's not the end of the story. We have a lot more to talk about. So let's talk about the perks now. Luna's Howl is a what you see is what you get perk gun. It drops one roll and that's it. Let's talk about that roll. You get drop mag, which is awesome, drastically increases the reload speed. However, you do drop all the ammunition with that reload, so that's something to note. You get Zen Moment, which of course causing damage increases the stability, and you get an interesting perk called Magnificent Howl. Rapidly landing 2 precision shots increases the next shot's damage and range for a short duration. So that's definitely pretty sweet. However, a lot of people watching this video, and some of you who may not, Luna's Howl was recently nerfed. Not recently, maybe a month or two ago, but it was nerfed. A lot of people complained it used to be much better than it is now. If it didn't get nerfed, then this comparison would not even be close. However, because of the nerf, it kind of brought Luna's Howl back to reality a little bit. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, one thing to note is I'm comparing these two guns on console. I know the feel of Luna's Howl is different on console versus PC, so I want to make that clear as well. So that's the roll on Luna's Howl. The Optative, you can get a bunch of different perks. You can also get drop mag on the Optative if it is something you're looking for. If you want to increase that magazine size, you can get extended mag. So that's just two of the things you can do to increase the Optative a little bit to make it have a little bit better stats than Luna's Howl. And then the bread and butter perks. You can get Grave Robber, Rapid Hit, Under Pressure, Outlaw, Underdog, 4th times the Charm, Demolitionist, Mulligan, Shield Disorient, Kill Clip, Opening Shot, and you can also get Zen Moment on this gun. So a lot of the stuff on Luna's, well, when I say a lot, I mean that you can increase the stats on Optative. You can get that extended mag, you can drop mag to increase reload speed, you can get Outlaw to increase reload speed, you can get Kill Clip, which will increase your damage. You can also get Zen Moment like Luna's has. So there are a bunch of different perks on this gun, the Optative, that you can make this gun so much better with. And that's where the Optative makes this a close match. If we just look at the stats, Luna's got it hands down. However, you got a bunch of different perks, and me personally, I love Demolitionist. For those of you who don't know what Demolitionist does, kills with the weapon generate grenade energy. Now that's absolutely awesome, especially for people who love throwing grenades around. That is definitely an awesome perk. So the perk-wise, the Optative definitely makes it close. So which one of these guns takes it when we talk about the perks? Well, Magnificent Howl is okay. It's with the nerf, it's not great. If you get 3 crits, you're going to get a kill in PvP. That's just how it is. Magnificent Howl is not going to change that. 3 crits from this gun, you're going to get the kill. It gives you a little bit of leeway though. However, if you get those 2 crits and then you hit a body shot, you'll get the kill. So Magnificent Howl gives you a little bit of leeway when it comes to Luna's Howl. Zen Moment, not bad. I do love Drop Mag though, so that's great. However, you can get Mag on the Optative. You can't get Magnificent Howl, obviously, but you can get Zen Moment. If you don't like Zen Moment on a hand cannon, you could get another perk to replace that. So if we're just talking perk-wise, I honestly have to give it to the Optative because Magnificent Howl doesn't really do much in PvE. And then in PvP, like I said, you're always trying to get those crits. Magnificent Howl is kind of just a fail-safe. If you mess up, if you're not getting 3 crits in a row, it's kind of just that fail-safe. So perk-wise, I'm going to give it to the Optative. Now that we've talked about the stats and the perks, let's talk about the time to kill really quickly. Time to kill wise, based off of the numbers I saw online, I did a little bit of research. Luna's Howl has a quicker time to kill, so that's obviously something you want to take into consideration if you're choosing these guns for PvP. Luna's Howl does have a slightly quicker time to kill at 0.8 versus 1 second for the Optative. So again, just another stat for y'all to note if you're curious about that. Now finally, let's talk about my opinions of these 2 guns and which one I prefer and why. First, let's talk about PvP. I think a lot of people are here for PvP. Which one of these guns is better when we're entering the Crucible? Both these guns bring a lot to the table. For those of y'all who haven't seen the video, I did post a video of me getting on a 20 kill streak with the Optative. So the Optative is absolutely a very good gun in PvP. Luna's Howl, very consistent. You're getting that quick time to kill. Zen Moment and Drop Mag are really great perks to have in the Crucible. And Magnificent Howl kind of gives you that, again, fail-safe just in case. Luna's Howl is just a very consistent gun. And so for that reason, in PvP, I'm going to go with Luna's Howl. I know that both these guns are definitely very good in PvP. I've used both of them. I've done very well with both of these guns. However, Luna's Howl is just more consistent. I feel more confident taking Luna's Howl into a gun battle than I do the Optative, especially because of that time to kill. Having a slightly quicker time to kill, it really makes you more confident going into that gun battle. So for PvP, I'm going with Luna's Howl. Now for PvE, it's a completely different story. As I said, Magnificent Howl, not really that great right now in PvE. It doesn't do a ton. Now, it may change in the future. A lot of people are upset with the nerf to Luna's Howl. Maybe Bungie will do something to increase the PvE viability of Luna's Howl. But right now, there isn't much of a reason to use Luna's Howl in PvE. The Optative, we went over the perks. It has a lot of great perks to use in PvE. Demolitionist, Zen Moment, Outlaw, Kill Clip, just some great perks, especially with hordes of enemies, or even for bosses, it has some good perks as well. So for PvE, I'm going with the Optative. Overall, which one of these guns would I take and why? Now, obviously, if you're a PvP player, I would recommend the Lunas. If you're a PvE player, Optative is probably the gun to go with. One thing to note, though, is Lunas does take a while to grind for. It was a quest that you have to complete in order to get that. The Optative you can get from the Vex Offensive. It is a very easy gun to get. I don't think you can go wrong with really either of these guns. Both of them I did very well with, but again, the time to kill on Lunas in PvP really makes the difference for me. I'm more of a PvP type of person. There are plenty of guns that you can use in PvE and do well, which is why I say go with Lunas. That's my personal opinion, is that I would pick Luna's over the Optative. However, I don't think you could go wrong with either. And again, something that may factor into your decision is that the Optative is a much easier gun to get. Luna's is a grind. You get it from a quest, and it does take a while. Bungie made it a little bit easier to get Luna's because you don't lose competitive points anymore from getting a loss, but it's still a grind to get that gun. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more Destiny 2 content. Well, until next time, peace.